All right, it's Fern here, day 3, reflecting back on my time as a dog trainer, recounting my most memorable experiences. So today I want to talk about kind of a session that really got me started on what I like to focus on now, which is behavioral issues, specifically with fear and anxiety. I really enjoy working with dogs who are suffering from some sort of anxiety, because I feel like their life can be so much better if they just learn some confidence, really. So it's one of my favorite things to work on, and this session really proved to me how if you do things the right way, dogs are willing to move forward. And sometimes we are unwittingly making things worse, all right? And this is very common. So this session really proved it to me in a big way. So I got a call, and this it was a dog who was kind of a mixed dog, pretty big, probably like an 80-pound mixed dog. I don't know, kind of like it was a kind of a whitish, shepherdish, who knows, labish mix. It was a whole bunch of breeds kind of jammed in there. But it was a fairly decent-sized dog that was very fearful of people, okay? And what I learned when I went there is not only is it fearful of people, it's been living, this family adopted this dog over a year ago. And in that time, the husband has never touched the dog. The dog is still so scared of him, just barks at him, won't go anywhere. Now, the daughter, who was maybe 14, and the mom were able to touch and interact with the dog, and they kind of, he kind of liked them. Strangers coming in, definitely much more resistant towards men, which is very common. Women he tends to get over, but still there's some women that he barks at. So I came in knowing this, as I always do. I want to stack the deck in my favor, so I came armed with some yummy treats. I think I had freeze-dried liver, or maybe grilled chicken. When I hear a dog that's pretty anxious with people, I usually bring grilled chicken or something. But I think I might have just had liver at this point. So I sat down, the dog is barking at me, I come in, the dog barks at me from a distance. So the dog is, I'm like in this big family room, and I'm sitting down on the couch here, and the dog is over in the distance there at the other end of the room barking at me. So what I do is I just ignore the dog completely, okay? The dog is uncomfortable with me, doesn't want me to notice it, so I just ignore the dog, absolutely pretend it's not there, and I'm just talking to the dog owners, who are the mom and the daughter, who are right over here. And I'm just talking to them, and every once in a while I'll throw a piece of food or a treat towards the dog. And the dog will stop, look at it, eat it, and then kind of go back to kind of eyeballing me and stuff, and maybe bark at me a little bit. Now, if the dog takes food, that means we can go somewhere. It means we can move forward. So as we're talking, I'm throwing the food slowly closer and closer to me. And this is my protocol for working with fearful dogs. I get to the point after about 20 minutes that the dog, I'm hand feeding the dog. All right? Hand feeding the dog, and then it would just kind of take it a little bit more time, maybe 25 minutes in. What I do is I hold the treat, the dog is nibbling, and then I very gently just give it a little touch here and just see what it does. Dog hung in there. So I let it nibble, 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 and then I let go of the treat, and the dog didn't back away. He stayed right there. I gave him some affection. All right? And then he kind of moved away. But that was big, because in 20 minutes, I had accomplished what the husband was unable to accomplish in a year. All right? Just because I was doing things very differently. He was very confrontational. He wasn't even at my session. He wasn't that interested. And he like breezed by once, and it's like, oh, thank God you're here. Look what he does. And he just comes over. He's like, here, and he just like goes right into the dog's face, and the dog just backs away and starts yelling at him. And that was his way of, trying to win the dog over, which obviously did not work. Then we went for a walk. We went for a 5 or 10 minute walk where I just ignored the dog. I just talked to the dog owner, and we just went for a walk. The dog ignored me on the walk. We came back, we sat on the porch. The dog immediately came over to me, and I started giving it affection. Started seeking me out for affection, because the walk is very powerful. So then they were just amazed. They couldn't believe that in 30 minutes or so, this dog was now friends with me. All right? It was very comfortable with me. We went back in the house. The dog hung out with me, didn't really bark at me at all. Our relationship was totally different. So it just proved that if you do things the right way and respect the dog, not doing it at your pace, doing it at the dog's pace, letting them move forward. If you just do things the right way, dogs are almost always willing to change their, dogs are open-minded, okay? They're willing to change their perspective. So it was really cool to see how after a year, this husband has not touched the dog. I came in 20 minutes, was able to interact with the dog and have the dog like me and see me as a friend and not a threat. So it was really cool, and I've used that kind of technique many times since then, and it's always been it always works. Maybe not that quickly always, but it always works. So that was a lesson. So it was cool. I'd like to reflect back to that session as well. All right, if you would like to do what I do, I would love to help you get there. The FernDog Trainer Academy is currently open for enrollment. We are taking new students for only the next couple days, and then we're going to close the doors, and I'm just going to focus on helping you guys make this awesome job a success for you. All right, if you're interested, I'd love to work with you. Look for the link somewhere around here, and I hope to see you inside the academy. I'll be back next week with another fun story from my life as a dog trainer. I'll see you then.